Welcome back to another episode of my trading vlog, where most of the views come from returning subscribers. If that's you, I'd appreciate the like. If not, consider subscribing. We're gonna go over AMC and GameStop first, and then we'll hit SPY, and then I've got like just a smattering of symbols over here on my board, and I don't know if I'm gonna get to them all, because these videos are typically too long. What we've seen the last couple of days in AMC is definitely a reactionary trend in which we're expecting a bounce, and that's gonna feel pretty good. And I have these labeled at the sub-money levels A and B. We're looking for wave C to come through, and that confirms once we break that high at A right here at 508. If we can get above there, then we're looking good. I was thinking that we were definitely in some sort of impulse through here, and if that wave C extension does occur, I would expect to reach that 612 level and go over that. So today we formed this wave B, a lot of sideways grind. Oof, volume wasn't all that spectacular. Gonna go look at Ape 2 for just a moment. It's kind of looking like the inverse of AMC, right? And that should get you thinking. I like really think about that. Think about that. If there could be some real use there for an equity that's completely juxtaposed to another, and we'll get to that at the very end of the video. But for now, let's just take a look at Ape. It looks like we're going through a similar motion through here, and it might be tempting to use this high, but really we should probably not. Let's take the peaks that are most related, and we'll come up here like this. Probably 1, 2, 3, 4. E overextending here. We might see an upward breakout on Ape too, actually. I don't know. Kind of interesting. Going to GameStop, yesterday I was feeling frustrated, a little confused. Perhaps we were moving through a broadening pattern, but most importantly, we've lost 2216, which confirms a bearish target at 2086. We've had a bear flag form through here in this pennant, and that has moved down. Now the price has pushed below there, and we're starting to see the development of what could be the last overthrow of this pattern, and then we get bullish reversal. It's very possible, just looking at the RSI and implied volatility. For implied volatility to come back down, we'd be needing a corrective trend. I still think we're going to hit 2086, still looking for this target, and then bounce up, and maybe what that will do is complete a motive wave count. We'll start looking for an inverted head and shoulder pattern, or something akin to that. Overall, I'd say near to short term, GameStop down, AMC, tall trading range, but inherently sideways. Watch Ape, though. It's very curious to me. Let's go look at Playboy. No, let's do SPY. We'll do Playboy at like the very end. SPY, I'm thinking probably going to move through some sort of really annoying triangle. That's just a good safe bet that it's going to be annoying, like it was all day today. When we had this high at pre-market, this took out my previous motive wave count that I shared yesterday, which is totally fine. Like when I'm charting on that small of a time frame, you got to be really nimble, really open-minded. And so we've obviously had an impulse from pre-market down, and this looks like a zigzag to me, not waves 4 and 5. And that's because we've got a bunch of overlap between these corrective peaks and then this impulse coming down, which inherently signals an ABC pattern. And so if you follow me on a smaller wave degree than what I have shown, I have A, B, and C for a zigzag in wave A. And then wave B occurs in the flat. Wave B has 3 waves in it, and I think we're looking at a combination 3, 3, 5 through here on a smaller degree. So follow me again. 1, 2, 3, and then it's 1, 2, 3, and this 3 forms a triangle too, which is stupid and annoying. And maybe it's not a triangle. Maybe it's actually just like some sort of flat. It doesn't really have that shape, right? But what is super annoying is when you get wave C here. I thought for a moment this might be a leading diagonal triangle, but guess what? It's actually in wave position C, because B through here was some sort of weird flat. And so this actually signals reversal, and it did. And we can see the ABC 3-wave form through here that defines it, an ending diagonal triangle. Right? A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, and then B coming up to here. We had breakout downward. So how many sets was that? 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be the 5th touch point technically. Kind of a weird spot to put it. Perhaps actually it's lower than that. But then we have to account for this peak right here. That's kind of a funny place to have an overthrow. So again, SPY doing weird stuff, but inherently to me to see the wave form through here not be super motive. It didn't look very good to me, honestly. Perhaps it's just a simple A, B, and C pattern with a C wave extension. Like that could be very possible through here. There's always multiple correct counts, right? In which case we'd be looking at waves A, B, C, and D through the triangle with an overthrow at wave E, and then the reversal occurs. Anyway, it's always going to be as confusing as possible in SPY. Here are my trades for the day. A lot of this is day trading at SPY. I'm just playing for small cash, really am, especially on 0 days to expire options. Like, don't try this at home. If you're not an experienced day trader, don't do it. I really don't recommend it unless you like really know what you're doing. Remember, There's no professionals here. I'm just some guy on the internet who has done this a lot, actually. Like, it's been years, and I think I'm ready to like reach a new level in my trading. It's pretty good. I'm still buying lottos for fun and stuff, but I'm making sure that fits within my profits always. And there's some logic there too. Psychologically, buying the lotto just, it's almost like a sacrifice to the markets, you know. It's so dumb. I know. Don't even think about it. Okay, SPXU. Let's go over here. This is the inverse ETF to SPY, and so if you're bearish on SPY, you want to go long here. I have corrected my wave count through here, and the reason why I did that is because we got this new low, bearish reversal at 1288. This was a long time ago I put this on the board. We've got a massive surge downwards since price has passed below there, and now we are moving through converging trend lines through which we are overextending the pattern on the 5th touch point. That is to say, very classic falling wedge through here, and it's happening through wave C, which is where it belongs. Fantastic, right? And so now I've corrected the count to A, B, C, A, B, and ooh, C. If we're in a combination 3, 3, 5, what happens next is a motive wave that pushes higher, and the nature of a motive wave is that it makes progress. So we're going to leave this peak at B behind at 22.26, which is signaling to me that SPY is ready to turn down too. And I don't know why the markets are going to do that. I don't. It's still, it's a mystery to me. We can speculate all day long whether it's going to be like a geopolitical event, or if it's going to be economic, or if it's going to have to do with the financial sector. We don't really know. But implied volatility is super low, and it's like bearish or bullish divergence to the maximum out here, to the maximum, and it makes sense, right? I count at least 3 divergences through here, and there could be a 4th, and that just makes sense when you've got that many motive wave extensions heading lower. What it certainly does is tell us that a bullish move here is definitely on the table, 100% on the table. The MACD isn't shown, but there's also a, it's not quite a bullish cross, but the short-term average is crossing the longer period average. It's on the negative side of the indicator, but that's the first sign that we could actually be coming in for a massive corrective surge, right? So if 335, then SPXU is going to go big. And if you looked at my trades, again, maybe I'll pull it up, but I actually entered into a leap here, and there was a $7 spread between the bid and the ask. So the market maker or the broker, whoever is writing your contract, they're going to have to make money selling the contracts, right? And so they do that by collecting a fee by selling contracts for more than they buy them. And that creates a difference. When you pay, you know, if the bid ask spread's $5, then when you buy your call, you're going to be down $5. This was the case with me in SPXU and the leap call that I bought. I have there was a $7 spread, but by the end of the day, 250 of that had been recovered already just by that small dump in SPY at the end of the day. That's kind of a big jump for the contract. And I was thinking to myself, this actually could be like the very, 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 very tippy top of the market. They really could be. Of course, there's going to be a lot of earnings. We still have earnings coming out from big companies that could, of course, turn the price around. I think Apple is having earnings on the 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be really curious to see how those play into the overall market price. But the bullish divergence down here, the decrease in volume throughout the trend is just insane. Implied volatility is super low. So I went ahead and went into here and bought a leap. Let's go to PLBY. Playboy had a great day. I got to say, I'm still really bullish here. So you're going to notice that I sold some shares. The reason I did that is because I want to do other things and to maintain exposure. That's why I bought the calls. Those calls, with any luck, should appreciate or at least maintain their value. The price is positioned bullishly. This is a very bullish chart to me. We've broken this ridiculously annoying triangle after a brutal throwback. Price continues to fight its way back up, finding support today near that trend line, defying the upper boundary of that pattern. The uptrend has been maintained here. This is, I believe, bullish reversal, and we may even actually want to characterize it as an ascending triangle, which is probably really much better. And maybe I'll do the pattern analysis here, and when we get this next breakout, let me get this clear. We've confirmed breakouts a lot here. There was a lot of divergences. This is a similar chart to SPXU where there's just an insane drop. So you get all these bullish divergences forming through here and a lot of clashing waveforms. And as price begins to converge, we're showing that the downside selling pressure is ending and the buying is starting to come in. And this pattern is the biggest pattern on the board. The greatest confirmation we get is above $2. Once the price closes above $2, because we've already had a close outside the pattern, we can do a chart pattern analysis here, and it's going to be pretty generous. We have something like, oh, it's not even that generous. From about $2 to $1.50 is 50 cents. We might have a 30 cents rally through here. I guess it only gets to 230. That's really not that good. I really wish that, well, I guess that's like a 10% rally still, right? 15%. It just looks so much bigger, doesn't it? But I'll still do the chart pattern analysis here, and maybe what I'll do is I'll do a trend line break analysis, because this trend line breaking is going to give us the highest target. It's essentially going to be a retracement from the motive wave that carried the price from 40 down to whatever, like 143. Pretty big downtrend. That was Playboy. Now we're going to hit some others really quickly. I got the candles turned on. Looking at Tesla now. I'm supposing that we're moving into cycle wave C here, completing, and we're looking for a topping pattern. It looks like we've got something here on the hourly time frame probably. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the candlesticks. And let's see, I was saying that we could easily see an overthrow here. I can't believe this is the right chart pattern. I really can't believe it. That's just ridiculous, but there it is. You're looking right at it. Of course, it's some sort of broadening and reverse pattern, because this is what brings the most uncertainty to the market. What fools the most people gives the price the most, I want to say, freedom. We've had the overthrow. We didn't even get to 273.88, and now we're just starting to head down. This will conclude wave B for us. Impulse A, 1, 2, 3 for B, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and just the weakest 5 wave ever. We could suppose that we're still in wave 4 until we get to 259.45. That's probably like the best bearish reversal level. Of course, there's always the potential for an extension sideways, which will give us, guess what? Oh, some other form of pennant. Yup. But again, that would be, that would give us another sideways grind for like a week. How annoying is that? Let's go look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA's been topping out, and I've been talking about this for a while, and we're spinning on that 466.37 level. It's just sideways, and that's what I was trying to get at when I drew this pennant. Just imagine the most annoying thing you can. Here it is. Guess what? That's what's happening. Bearish reversal at 461.32 has not confirmed. The price has found support there a couple times. We lose that level, I think we'll go down to 443 in short order. Moving on from NVIDIA, let's go to AMD next. AMD is pushing up, which is expected. I was talking about this the other day. We are completing wave 4 here at the minor degree, wave C having completed, looking for a motive push up to form a truncated fifth at the minor degree, completing intermediate wave 3, at which point we'll be looking for the next retracement. Now I'm just assuming that we're going to get a big triangle up here, and this will either serve as topping or we'll extend out of it to the upside. But big push higher today on AMD. Looking good, looking very good. We don't have bullish confirmation above what I've showed this forecast until we get above the point of minor wave 3, which peaked out at around 133. So AMD, big bullish move today. Yes, wave C can go nuts too. So look, it's ticking up again. It looks like we actually, when are earnings? Is this happening right now? It's happening right now. Go figure. So earnings coming in good. Let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, let's do it. Can I just get the, let's see here. Earnings, 0.40 cents estimate, actual 58. Wow. Let's go into the minute time frame. Let's look at this thing. This is great. You know, most of the time I don't see things move when I do my analysis. That's a big push. That's a big push. AMD is ripping hard. Let's go ahead and just do a target here. We get bullish confirmation again at, what is this, 125. Price gets above here. We're targeting 130, which is, of course, I think the top of that pattern I had drawn, right? This line is hypothetical, right? Hypothetical, and I'm using an extension target from this impulse to try to guess where that is, to be at 130. It's very possible we're moving to a broadening pattern through here just as well. Nonetheless, that's pretty impressive. Good for anyone long an AMD going into earnings. Good call. Big push higher. Let's go ahead and move on from here, and we'll look at Apple. Apple's starting to come down a little bit. I'm thinking that we're ending through a converging pattern at the completion of a motive wave count, which means true rising wedge. We'll see if we get a dump here. Very possibly could, and then earnings sends us to the moon. Not the moon, but really, if Apple keeps climbing, you have to think parabolic because of just the scale of the of the rally. It's just insane, right? We have, yeah, on the 3rd, earnings are coming up here. Going to be following this one closely. Let's go over, have a look at Tesla as well. Tesla continuing to move through some sort of bear flag, it looks like. And I say that because we're looking for correction still, looking for correction. And this wave C could be easily just extending through here. And we would be then looking at 230.88 or 204.23. We get confirmation as price passes impulse A at the why is that labeled like this? These should be lowercase. If these are not lowercase, then it's not the right degree. Now this is still not the right. Interesting. So what am I looking at? What is this? Oh, why do I have this labeled like that? This is like grand. Is this no primary, intermediate? Yeah, this was labeled correctly. I'm a dummy. Okay. Wave A, impulse B here, impulse C. Of C, we'll get a complete wave count through here. In fact, we might even change this to 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5 for wave C. That would make a lot of sense. Reaching oversold in the RSI right now, but honestly, we're probably going to see the RSI reach overbought and oversold a couple of times before we make another big move. Again, bearish reversal at 255, bullish continuation at 273.88. We're going to move on from here. Let's go. Let's check on Carvana. I keep wanting to say caravan, but you know, that doesn't work. Oh, we're starting to see bullish reversal here. That's insane. It could be a tricky C wave though as well, right? Because we are looking for wave B to start being built. If we had impulse A, we could still be looking at A, B, and C, where we get a broadening pattern. Of course, this is always the most annoying thing. You're gonna hear me say that a lot. There's going to be a level of support and resistance here at 48.90. It looks like price is curling down there a little bit. RSI has reached overbought. Remember, in a corrective wave, we typically hit oversold or overbought only once. And so here we go. If this is the bottom of wave B of the smaller degree, not this degree, but a smaller degree, then wave C would peak at overbought as well. And there we are. So very likely we could still see some downward price action here, but this would change the extension. We'll be taking this higher price, which gives us a little more, gives us a more bullish target at $31. Looks like we have earnings coming up here on the 3rd as well. A lot going on. Earnings are going to be pushing all the ETFs around, you know. Let's go have a look at GLD. It's coming down a little bit. Dollar strength is coming in, and that's something I've been watching and thinking a lot about, because this could be, like, I know we all say falling wedge. I don't know if the wave position really supports falling wedge, but it's possible. When I zoom out into the monthly max, this is what I've been saying, is that there are 2 targets here. One is a measured move down, in which case we'd find ourselves pushing down to about 92. And this is like the popular bearish dollar thesis that's very bullish on equities like SPY. And what we see on the monthly time frame is the RSI actually starting to flex up at 50, which could very well signal that, guess what, it's actually a measured move up, and this is a corrective wave, wave B, and wave C is impulse and pushes to 120 or 138.67, and this could be this is very, very possible. Remember, the dollar strength isn't only dependent on what the Federal Reserve does, but what other central banks do as well. So when other central banks choose to have very, very easy monetary policies or low rates, inflation be what it is, that can relatively strengthen the dollar. Another thing too to think about is how bonds play into this, okay? Overseas investors needing to buy bonds can't do it in foreign currency. They have to buy dollars first. So as interest rates go up, foreign investors may be more interested in buying those bonds, which causes buying of dollars, and that raises the dollar strength. All right, now remember, as bonds are bought, rates or yields decrease. Okay, so there's a balance there between those two things. I'm not sure what that is, but we might as well go look at TNX right now and try to get an idea of what the 10-year Treasury yield is doing. It looks like I had a descending broadening wedge drawn through here. We've definitely blown out the top of that in what looks to be, I have it labeled, this was before I came up with my uniform way of labeling my Elliott waves. And so it looks like we're moving into what would be primary wave 3. which is not a bad analysis. It's really not. Initial impulse, wave 2 coming down through here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, this is on the monthly chart, so we're not going to see these waves, but 5. And then this would have to be a corrective wave, which means we're actually extending, and we're extending again. This looks bullish. This looks really, really bullish. We're setting up a bearish divergence right now, but I expect that to break, and we'll see a further push higher in yields. But that would mean a selling of bonds. Interesting. Perhaps we are forming a top, and that would be really happening right now near the 4074 level. Let's go to the daily time frame. This will make a little more sense. Is this a topping pattern? That's the question. And it may be. All right, it may be. Let's get rid of this thing. That's annoying. A, B, C. And then we have a bump up and a push down, which means the count is not that simple. We're going to have to think a little more eccentrically, okay? This very well could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for A, and then impulse A of B, and then 1, 2, 3 of B, okay? So we get A, B, and C of B, and then a motive wave higher for C, 1, 2, this is probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 3, 4, 5. In other words, A, let's see here, A, B, oh my goodness, because this was C of B, right? A of B, B of B, C of B, and C actually pushes down on yields. C would be down, correcting to the bearish side, indicating the buying of bonds, the strengthening of the dollar, the bearishness of equities. That's what I'm anticipating. I'm watching for this. I'm watching for the 10-year treasury yield to drop and dollar strength to rise and for equities to fall. That's where I'm at with that. And I think overall consumer prices will increase, and that may be due to the cost of food and energy specifically. Okay, so how long have I been going for? Just 21 minutes. Jeez, that's too long. It takes too long to process 21 minutes. That's okay. I know some people like to watch longer videos. Maybe I'll just do it anyway. So, cool. But then I can't watch them. Then they're not as rewatchable for me. And I do this for like my own benefit too, which is why I put all the important stuff up front, I guess. Anyway, happy trading.